Be more. There could be more for Woodrow's decks.
Yeah.
Your deck.
It's pretty awesome. You very rarely see Thopter Foundry.
Yeah, that's different.
It's such a powerful combo. It dominated extended. Sort of strange to never see it in modern or in Legacy rather.
You know, and you used to see it a lot more, but it was mostly in Light and Tutor decks.
Yes.
You don't see it so much in this deck.
No.
And there is a little issue here is that he does end up, because he doesn't play an Light and Tutor package, he's stuck playing 4 Thopter Foundries.
Right.
So he could draw those, and those could just not be very good.
They do pitch to Force of Will.
They do. They do. And certainly, if he gets the combo going, it is incredibly powerful in this matchup.
Yeah. A white weenie deck,
powerful.
really tough for white weenie deck to beat that.
Yeah.
Interestingly, 3 Force of Will in Woodrow's deck, and I really like that because the value of Force of Will is almost at an all-time low right now.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
There's so many decks that you can't afford to constantly be losing hard advantage against.
Exactly, and there are just so few combo decks out there right now that require you to main deck it. For GP Providence, I almost sideboarded my Force of Wills.
Wow.
I was really close to doing it. I wussed out at the last minute, didn't do it. I'm glad I didn't. I played a lot of combo.
Yeah.
It's a risky thing to do.
I feel that combo comes back a lot more often during the Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely.
Brian, I guess, is his choosing player draw, but hasn't said it yet. I'm going to assume he's going to play.
I think so. Yeah.
No, he does have Ether Vial.
Yeah, that's his ideal turn 1 right there.
That is very good in this matchup.
Ideally, he'd love to go turn 1 Aether Vial, turn 2 Thalia.
Or just turn 2 Stoneforge.
Oh, that one's all right too.
Yeah, always a good play.
Yep, and the nice part about Brian Koo's deck is his mana base. He gets to play 11 basic planes, 4 Wasteland, 4 Rishadan Port, 4 Caracas. So 4 Caracas is a bold move, especially when there's only 2 Mangara in the deck.
Yeah, but it's good against a lot of decks.
It's backbreaking.
It is,
if it gets
it's
active.
going to keep Endillion Clicks from doing a whole lot. That's for sure.
Yeah. Also combos with his Thalias. He can bounce them on his turn if he needs to cast a spell.
Yeah,
Say,
true.
end of turn bounce my Thalia in response to Wrath of God. Bounce
Makes
my
it real hard
Thalia.
to deal with.
Yeah, it does. Jotun Grunt is another card that you don't see very much in Legacy. Was really
pretty much just in
popular
that deck.
back in Hulk Flash in that era, but that was it.
Oh wow! Turn 1, turn 1 Mother of Runes.
And I really have to compliment Brian Koo on his Portal 3 King of Plains.
Yes, it's very classy.
Really hard to find.
No, they are. As I mentioned, once I found some in a bunch of precons, and a Myers once, so I do have a few of those.
So Mishra's Factory for Woodrow, Brian Koo.
Turn 2 Thalia.
So powerful.
Oh, this is not looking good for Woodrow. He without there is a colored source there, so that's good. He can't cast that Brainstorm if he needs to. But he can't cast was not able to cast Stoneforge right there.
No, I'm not sure if he has a white source.
I don't
think he does. I think that Stoneforge would be in play.
Was that a 7 he kept?
I think it was. Crazy to not see him mulligan this one here. Maybe relying on Brainstorm.
He might be. Yep. And there goes a Wasteland.
Yep.
And he's going to pay 2 for a Brainstorm.
And he really needs to find some land
here. And this is one of those, and it looks like I saw a Tundra there, but this is one of those real scary times when you have to play Brainstorm, you have no fetch land, you can get locked underneath your own Brainstorm.
Yep. But he did find a Tundra, and Thalia gets in for 2, brings Woodrow down to 16 or 18. Woodrow draws. He'll play a Tundra.
I have to imagine that Stoneforge is coming out here.
Right.
Both because he doesn't have any more lands on top of his deck, and he's probably going to get Batterskull here. Have to imagine. Oh, and a Swords.
End of turn, Swords to Plowshares.
Now, usually you want to wait until he finishes resolving that, unless he's already said Batterskull.
Yeah, he probably verbally announced the Batterskull.
Okay. All right.
Brian Koo trying to save a few seconds here.
Yeah. You don't risk him getting something different.
Right. He says, oh, well, in that case.
Sort of meek.
Yeah. Umasawa's Jite. A 2-drop.
Right.
Now, that Batterskull, without Stoneforge in play, costs 6 mana to play.
Yeah, it's not coming out anytime soon.
No, especially with Woodrow a little stuck on lands right now.
So he is, of course, looking to draw land here. And I don't think he can another brainstorm or anything like that. So
Nope.
this could be a bit dicey.
Brian Q will now get to untap.
Though Brian doesn't have a whole lot else. Looks like he just has another Thalia and some lands.
I think there's a Flicker Wisp there too.
Ooh.
Definitely pretty powerful. 3 for a 3/1 flyer.
Flicker Wisp will, I imagine,
Probably phase out the Caracas there.
does himself.
Okay. So his plan is to phase out Woodrow's land for his turn. A really neat play with
That is a neat
Flicker
play.
Wisp.
I did not realize that play worked like that.
No, I thought Flicker Wisp was another.
Yeah, let's check on that real quickly.
I would think Brian Koo would know his cards by now, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it is remove another target permanent.
Yeah, can we
Yeah, hold on.
Hold on.
Stop the match here. Woodrow's land is in play right now.
yeah. Flicker Wisp does not do that. I was a bit shocked that it would work like that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, wow, I'm surprised people
Yeah,
haven't
like
played this
why
card
wasn't I
before.
not doing that before? Flicker Wisp.
Flicker Wisp.
It's another target permanent.
Yeah, they have to stop this match right now. Okay, good. They're explaining it to the judge right now. And has Brian Koo been playing his Flicker Wisp like that all day?
I don't know. We have not seen it happen. So
we'll see if they rewind or if it's
Yeah.
too late to go back.
yeah, sometimes you just can't catch those things in time.
Right, I think they'll be able to rewind this because so little has happened. Brian Koo can gain no advantage by doing this. He gets no extra information.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here. You know, an attack happened.
Right, the Flicker Wisp was pre-combat. That could
Right.
matter. Consulting with the table judge, seeing the ruling. And you know what was interesting? Woodrow read the card too. So-
Yeah, yeah. But I think he read it after it sort of happened.
Right. Brian Koo looks a little embarrassed there.
Yeah,
Oops.
that is an embarrassing.
But-
Have you ever played a card wrong all day and got called on it in like round 8, and you're like, "Oh, that is a sorcery, isn't it?" Awkward.
You know, I never have.
I did that at pre-release once.
What card?
I forgot. It was like Tangarth's Rage or something.
Okay.
It gave the creature +3/+0 and a buyback of. It was 1 way to do that and buyback of
Buyback.
like 3. This was a while ago.
Wow.
And I had a Cornet Cannon. I kept putting attack my Cornet Cannon token, no blocks, to do. You know, I'd be like, cast it on buyback, take 4, and then like, round.
Wow, that's good.
That was it felt like an instant. Was not an instant.
Feels like it should be an instant.
Yeah, I got called on like round 8. I'm like, I've been doing this all day. That's really awkward.
And a caution for you, sir.
Not how that card works. Okay, note to self.
So Sam Stoddard, an admitted cheater. You heard it here.
Yeah, I've misplayed a few cards in my day.
I think we've all done that once or
Yep.
twice.
There are cards that just feel like sorceries. There are
Right.
cards that just feel like instants, rather. They're not always instants.
For the longest time, actually, I confused Vines of the Vastra. I thought it was 1 green for +4/+4, extra green for the Shroud,
Yeah.
the Hexproof.
And they're still discussing this. Now, the problem is that the game went a little while. So he made a decision. He could have targeted one of his own lands, obviously. Could have targeted Thalia, could have targeted Mother Runes, made a decision, passed the turn. It did its thing. So, there was a bit of time. And the question is, do you rewind? It already phased out. And it looks like just nothing happened.
Right, it looks like the Flicker Wisp trigger.
Did Thalia.
Okay. So Woodrow does get his land for his main phase.
Yeah.
We'll see how he uses it here. And if he says go, that Mishra's Factory is not an unreasonable blocker. That's a 3/3.
Yeah,
Thalia
no,
can
it is.
attack.
It is.
You can do something like end of turn brainstorm. Not usually a good play, but in this case, it could be.
Yeah, another Stoneforge.
Yeah.
And Brian is going to need another card to deal with that, because that Batterskull, that is pretty good in this matchup.
Yep. Woodrow will search up Sword of the Meek. Now he has both equipments in his hand, Batterskull and Sword. And now Woodrow, or rather now Brian Koo will have to have another Swords for that Stoneforge, unless he wants to be facing down a Batterskull. Now he does have Mother of Runes to block it.
Right.
Protection
right.
from black.
But, you know, he needs that Mother of Runes to protect his own guys. I mean, that's what it's kind of there for.
Right.
So, yeah, it will block all day, but, you know, he's certainly not going to be able to attack with it. Attack with anything. He's,
Yeah, only Flicker Wisp will be able to get in.
Thalia does have first strike, but the factory is able to tap itself to give itself +1/+1.
Right.
So it'd be a 3/3.
So it looks like we have a ruling from the judge here. Brian received a game penalty error, a game rule violation warning. Woodrow got a failure to maintain the game state. They backed up to when the Flicker Wisp came into play, and then Brian Koo got to choose a legal target.
Look at Flicker Wisp real quickly. Someone said it's... Yep, remove another target permanent from the game.
Yep.
So it is not non-land, it is just another target permanent.
Right. So not sure what phase we're in here. Oh, I believe Woodrow is trying to decide what to discard for this turn. Has to be that Sword of the Meek, right?
Yep. Baneslayer, yeah, he's not casting that anytime soon. He might be a little worried about, maybe he's a little worried about discarding it. I'm not sure what that would do, but... In comes the creatures. He's going to take...
Going to take 5 here. And Brian Koo...
Another Flicker Wisp.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, no, maybe, well...
This one works.
Yep, it does.
So this Flicker Wisp will come back at the end of Brian Koo's turn. What will it phase out? That's the question. Looks like Tundra. You know, I probably would have gone with the Stoneforge there. It becomes summoning sick.
Yeah.
Not able to violate the Batterskull.
He gets another artifact, but, you know...
Right, but he's...
Other equipment.
He's discarding at this point.
Yeah. Now, the nice thing is that Brian is... Woodrow's on a 2-turn clock.
Yeah, he is.
You know, unless he has a way to deal with that Mother of Runes, those Flicker Wisps just come in. Yep, they just swing for 6, and Mother Runes will become will give Thalia pro black,
right?
I imagine, and prevent Batterskull from getting any life.
Yeah. So
it looks like he drew swords.
Wow. Well, it looks like what happened. Woodrow just passed the turn. Tundra came back, and still on his own end step, he put the Batterskull into play.
Right.
To answer the people's questions who missed what happened with the Flicker Wisp, he tried to target itself, which it can't do.
He targeted itself so that he could then phase out Brian's Tundra end of turn.
Right. Does not work.
Oh, it was not a swords. It was not a swords. It was an angel.
Okay, so Sarah Avenger comes out after dropping Woodrow
and another Mother
6.
of Runes.
Wow.
Oh,
so Brian Koo just flooding the board with creatures here.
I don't know what Woodrow can actually draw at this point.
No. There's no way he can cast Wrath of God.
I think he is stone dead.
Yeah, he just missed on his lands for a few too many turns.
But...
Yeah, the best he can do is sword his own Batterskull token, but I don't
Well, what he can do is he can swords the Mother of Runes. So the Mother of Runes has to... Mother of Runes has to choose white to protect itself.
Right.
Or he could just, I guess give the Thalia pro black.
Yeah, either way, I don't think Woodrow could win that game, and Brian Koo advances to the semifinals. Congratulations, Death and Taxes, Flicker Wisps.
Yeah.